Now for the track guide. Guys, before starting, I just released some car specific courses teaching you how to drive to the limit that specific car. So if you want to learn more about it, go ahead and check it out on my website. Now for the track guide itself, turn 1, the reference for braking will be this yellow part on the right side or the exit road around here, because it's in the front of the car. It's going to be a very good reference. You want to brake before it, and you want to go in 4th gear. You don't want to brake very hard, because what's super important around here is to drag the brakes all the way to the next corner. So in between this, the first and second corner, you should be braking. So don't brake hard so you'll be on the throttle in the middle. No, instead we're still holding the brakes. When we're hitting this curb right here, we will downshift to 3rd gear, and all the way to the next corner, we will just hold the brakes into the lower percentage like this. Look, still holding the brakes, 20%. Now, whenever we're getting closer, and because our steering wheel is straight, at least it's a little bit more straight, we can increase more the braking pressure. So the rhythm of braking is a bit harder initially, then because we turn to the left side to cut the first curb, we're gonna brake softer because we're using the steering wheel angle, and now because we kind of straighten up the car, we can brake harder again, and this is the perfect rhythm for this corner. And in terms of the first apex, you must cut all the way to these yellow sausage curves, then unwind the wheel, downshift to 3rd. When the wheel is almost straight like this, because you're trying to go straight towards the next corner, you're gonna brake harder. Then you will turn more the wheel because you want to take an early apex, so we will apex around the middle part of this green. Once again, very close to the yellow anti-curves. And then the car will track out a bit wider while you still hold the brake. So look, we're still on the braking in 3rd gear, rotating, and then at this point in time we go on throttle. So this is important. If you can replicate this, you will find a lot of lap time in this first part of the track. Now whenever we turn the car, our reference for just the line will be this big red anti-curb on the right side. You want to put your right tire almost on it, so get as close as you can, hold the throttle so that the car will track out wider like this, and now you're gonna reposition on the right side. Reference for braking here will be this blue pole with number 5 on the right side, and you will brake at it. In 4th gear, downshifting to 3rd, you want to take an early apex here, because this corner is almost like a double apex. The first apex will be here, beginning of this green part of the curb. Then you will still be braking, still trade braking, and when you get closer to the middle, you're gonna push the throttle once again, and you will have your second apex at the end of this white part of the curb, pushing the throttle all the way up so you get close to the grass. Notice that here we have a bit more space to the right side. This indicates that we were just a bit too late on the throttle. You could have been earlier on the throttle and push the car for longer, so keep this in mind. You want to brush the grass on your way out. Now for the next corner, you have to open up a tiny bit by brushing the right tires on the white line. You will turn with 100% throttle into a corner, and then you will lift. Don't lift on a straight line. First turn, then apply the lift. Then you will go on the brakes. Super important to take an early apex, and you'll be aiming at the beginning of the green part here near the grass. Then you just have to hold the brakes into the lower 5, maximum 10%. You don't want to brake very hard. You're holding the brakes here just to make the car rotate, to keep a bit of weight on the front end of the car. So still in 4th gear, still holding this little amount of brake. When you're getting closer to the second curve or the second apex, you can brake a tiny bit more if you feel like you need more rotation. So basically, if the car doesn't turn enough, you will add a bit more brake. If the car is turning a lot, you will just lower the brake percentages. So it's always a dance between having the right balance and the right speed. You will get very close to this red sausage curb, and the moment that you're at this point, you will be applying the throttle very harshly like this, getting close to 100, because ideally for this corner you want to be as close as you can to the white line on the right side to open it up as much as you can. You will turn into this corner. If the car doesn't turn, like if you feel understeer, if you feel like you have to use the steering wheel a lot and the car still doesn't turn, just do a small lift, exactly like we're doing here, just like 10% lift on the throttle. Once again, get very close to this red sausage curb. The moment that you touch it, you should be back on the brakes in 3rd gear, hugging this part of the curb here before seeing the green, apexing early here, and now just dancing with the brakes so that the car gets wider, and then you will cut it back like this into this part of the green part of the curb like this. So as you can see, a lot of double apexes. Double apexes, most of the time you need an early apex, then you need the car to track out wider so that you will cut it back again. The whole idea of a double apex is carrying more speed on entry and being earlier on the throttle. That's the whole point of it. Now you're going to use all the track on your way out. For the next chicane, make sure you're cutting all the way and you can go completely over the red sausage curb. The moment that you're touching it, you should drop the throttle because the car needs to stabilize. And then when you're landing, you should be applying the brakes. Get very close to this red pole like this. You can cut a lot in this corner without getting a penalty. And push the throttle once again once the car lands. So it's the same approach, a little bit of a brake, then push the throttle once again, and then you will just be braking into the corner and really using all your space on your way out. We're heading now towards the last sector of the track. In the next chicane, braking point will be before this blue banner on the center of your screen. You're gonna brake in a straight line, super important. Make sure initially here you brake with your steering wheel straight so that you can maximize the efficiency under straight line braking. You will go to third gear, you will cut this part of the curb like this and you will trail brake longer. In this corner, the secret is to hold the brakes for longer. Look, still on the brakes because we want to be aiming to bring the car on the right side. Ideally, it will be close to the white line. Obviously, you will sacrifice too much if you get to the white line. So in your mind, on your exit of this corner, you should be as close as you can to the white line. In between those two corners, my best advice, try to reach 100% throttle. So give it a blimp of 100% throttle, exactly what happened here. And then with your trail brake, point the car very close to the red sausage curb, push the throttle once again, and now we're heading towards the last two corners of the track. Reference for braking here will be the dirt patch on the left side. So here the grass is a bit dirty. When you get to this point, apply the brakes. Don't brake very hard. You can keep the car in fourth gear just to make the front point. When you reach this curb, push the throttle hard because you can use all this space without taking an off track. And once again here for the last corner, make sure you're opening it up. So don't align yourself with the white line. You can cut the pit entry line like this. You will brake at the beginning of the pit entry line, like in front of it, like right now you're applying the brakes. In third gear, use all this space right here and just trail brake a lot here. You can even cut the red anti-curb, push the throttle all the way out up until you get to this gravel on the left side. And in short, that's the lap. I hope you like it, I hope you enjoy it, and if you want to improve at a quicker pace, you can check out my website. I have my sim racing course, I have my car courses, and also check my Discord, a lot of free resources there as well. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.